fortunate we are to have such exceptional people working in our school system. So it's a collaborative effort. We make sure that we understand all the facts, understand the situation, make sure we're communicating with each other, and have that information to make the appropriate decisions.
What are the legal implications for phoning in a fake or perceived fake bomb threat for anyone who may be listening, who may have done it?
So I want to stress emphatically that we will prosecute to the full extent of the law if we do determine who the person or the people are that are doing these threats. It's not a joke. It's a very, very serious disruption. And what I want to stress to the community is this is not just the schools that they're causing the problems and the stress for. If you think about 4 or 5 schools that dealt with this situation today and all of the resources in your community that had to respond in terms of police officers, EMS personnel, fire personnel, detectives, bomb squad dogs. There's a lot of resources and a lot of financial capital that is spent when these situations occur. So the community, I would ask the community if they see or hear or know of anything to do not hesitate to call our office and inform us of anything that they hear. It's the old adage, if you see something, say something. It's all of us together keeping the school safe. We do our part and our community does theirs, but we want to make sure that we reach out to our community and tell them that if you know anything, I don't care what the tip is. If you hear or think you have some information, call us. We will prosecute to the full extent of the law. This is a major, major disruption, not only in our schools but across our community, and it's wasting valuable resources and time when we go through this.
I have a question for law enforcement. This is the 3rd day that Cabarrus County Schools has had serious incidents within the past few days or so. Are you concerned that this amount of attention is giving whoever is perpetrating these threats or crimes, that this attention is exactly what they want?
Yeah, I can't speak to that. All I can say to you is that we are going to continue to enforce our safe schools protocols and do everything we can to maintain a safe environment. As I said earlier, we take every threat seriously and we will not ignore any. I understand your question, but we're not going to let any threat go unnoticed. We're going to respond to every threat and continue to move forward to maintain a secure, safe school environment.
I have a question for law enforcement. If you all could just reiterate that this is a felony to communicate threats to any school building, any extracurricular activities, and additional questions, that is, do you all plan to provide extra security for the remainder of this week?
I can speak to that. Yes, it is a Class H felony to report a false threat of mass violence on an educational property. So that does take in extracurricular activities, those types of things. It's, to give you some idea, it's punishable up to approximately 39 months in prison. So with any school investigation related to this, I've already talked with our elected district attorney and discussed those things, and we'll certainly be pursuing that. And yes, we'll be prepared tomorrow. We'll have individuals that are out there, resources in close proximity to the school, if not at the schools, so that they can respond and be there, and also to help the parents that are dropping their kids off feel confident that we are doing everything we can to address the situation.
How is the investigation into today's threats going? Have you received tips? Do you have any suspects? Things of that nature.
We're working jointly, the Sheriff's Office along with Concord Police Department, and there's many other agencies that are assisting. You know, over in Iredell County, they've had a similar situation today. We've certainly reached out to them, the FBI. We have both state and federal resources we reach out to. We're you know, constantly running tips and leads down till we get to where we feel we have a good resolution. You know, I think it's important for folks to know that this doesn't stop once we get the kids back in school. This is the kids' safety is paramount in this community, and we're going to do everything we can. We're fortunate through investigative efforts. We resolved the issue at Northwest Cabarrus High School that involves 2 different bomb threats over the past 2 days. We've resolved that. They were false threats. We have identified an individual, and we're proceeding through the investigation, and we'll be charging that individual.
This was for yesterday?
Yesterday and today.
Oh,
yes, it was the same individual.
For Northwest Cabarrus?
Yes.
Yeah, can we kind of have a breakdown what happened and also break down the one yesterday too, just so we can make sure our information's accurate?
What I just can't get into, you know, ongoing investigations. But obviously yesterday we had a bomb threat at Northwest Cabarrus. We had another one today. They were very consistent, and we were able to identify through an investigative process an individual, and we're confident that we've resolved that, and we'll be moving forward with charges and prosecution.
But was that individual also responsible for the threats at the other schools today?
At this point in time, we have no way of confirming that, if that makes sense. I mean, there's still a lot of investigation going on. Detectives from Concord PD and the Sheriff's Office are literally working together right now, running down leads. And so that would be speculation on our parts. We know that the individual responsible for that particular one, we've identified and feel very confident about that.
And can you describe, is it a student, gender, age?
I can't get into gender or age. Obviously, these are students. You know, they're of an age we can't discuss that. But you know, we feel confident. We've got, you know, and I want the parents to know that they can return tomorrow with their kids and know that we've taken care of that. But the most important thing, it is a false report. There was no threat to the students. We cleared the buildings. You know, Charlotte, Mecklenburg Police Department sent additional bomb squads to support the Sheriff's Office's dogs, and it went exceptionally well with the assistance of the school staff. Each school, their staff were outstanding in working with us and working through this process of moving a lot of kids around and back in and keeping them safe while we're doing what we do as well.
And so both into Cox Mill, they were both calls today? And then can you also tell us where the letter was found, what school and where it was found?
Yes, as Dr. Kapicki said, the Cox Mill Elementary were phone calls. Okay, Northwest was a note both times.
Do we know how many students was absent from Northwest because of yesterday's bomb threat?
I don't have that information with me right here presently, but I am not aware of any large absenteeisms across the district.
And with today, we heard there was students being placed on the bleachers at the school, and one may have passed out. Can you confirm that? And were they in water given, or was anyone taken to the hospital because of?
Yes, we have our evacuation sites, and there were a few students that I will say were dealing with some heat exhaustion issues. Yes.
How many, if any, students were taken to the hospital for heat exhaustion?
I don't believe any.
No.
All right, we're good?
We'll
Okay.
follow up, see if you have any additional questions.
I can give you some of that general timeline information if you want to do that. So I can kind of walk you through what happened this morning and
Thank you.
clarify. So between 9:10 and 9:30, we had 4 schools go into evacuation. 3 of those, J.M. Robinson, Cox Mill, and Cox Mill Elementary, were phone threats. Northwest Cabarrus was a threatening note. At 10:18, Cox Mill Elementary was cleared to return to class. They did remain on lockdown until 11:21 when Cox Mill was cleared to return because they're across the street from each other. 10:49, J.M. Robinson was cleared to return. 11:10, Northwest Cabarrus High was cleared to return. And at 11:20, Cox Mill High was cleared to return. At 12:08, we did receive that second threatening call at Cox Mill, and students were again evacuated, and those students stayed at their evacuation site until regular dismissal time at 2:15. We do have joint SROs in this county, so Concord Police was serving J.M. Robinson and Cox Mill today. Cabarrus County Sheriff's Department is assigned to Cox Mill Elementary and Northwest High, although they did work jointly today on all these projects.
Will that be sent out in an email?
I'm going to put together a release as soon as I get back to my office for the first time today. So,
Thank you so much.
yep, thank you.